Hi, this is Robin with Never Too Blank. Come with me as I take a trip to Colorado and explore Salida. Never been there before, so I was really looking forward to it. Had to get to the airport really, really early. Love the way this guy's charging his cell phone laying on the floor with his shoes off. You don't see that every day. But it was very, very quiet. Never been at the airport this early. I typically fly out a little bit later. In fact, it was really dark leaving Houston, and I got to say, it was really pretty with all the lights and such. The flight to Denver was pretty quick, didn't have any issues. Got to see some gorgeous scenery out my window there. Normally, my guy gets the window. We landed, and I thought this little airplane was pretty cute, so I had to throw it in there. Didn't take too long till we were off to Colorado Springs, which was probably the quickest flight I've ever taken anywhere, but the views were just amazing. Really, really enjoyed it. Once I got there and got landed, my friends picked me up pretty easily and we were off. Didn't realize we were going to start the sightseeing so quickly because right after the airport, we made it to the Garden of the Gods there in Colorado Springs. I don't know what I was expecting, but I gotta say it was just really, really nice. Everybody talks about how beautiful Colorado was, and it just did not disappoint. So we drove around for a while. Apparently, it was a pretty busy time, so it took us a little while to find a place to park. But just driving around and seeing the sky was fabulous. But we finally parked and we got to go out and see some things. And I gotta say, it was really, really beautiful. We did not spend enough time there as far as I was concerned, but this was literally just a pit stop after the airport before we got into the car to drive to Salida where my friends were staying. They've been trying to get me out there for a while, so I finally decided to pull the trigger and go. On the way there, the weather was great until it wasn't. All of a sudden, out of the blue, we hit this storm, and it was not just rain, it was hail. Like the hail was coming down. You can see it right there on the window. It was just crazy, and it was so loud. And uh, I was just really amazed at how quickly the weather shifted, and then all of a sudden it was gone. Now, whenever we made it to Salida, there was a big event going off that weekend. Apparently, it was the 75th anniversary of this big event, and so we got to walk down to the river and watch these guys out there showing their stuff, and it was really interesting. They came in, they try to stay where they were for a little while, and I don't really know much about this event. I'll post something about it in the comments as far as where we were. I don't even want to mispronounce it, but that was a lot of athletic ability because that water was really rushing in. They had a lot of rain during this time period. In fact, they said that it was the greenest that it has ever been this time of the year that I was out there. Normally, by then, it starts to get a little more arid and a little bit drier, and things start kind of going a little bit brown, but it was nothing but green while I was in Salida. So there was a lot of people out for this event. You can see the people sitting on the shore. And that's not even counting everybody was watching from balconies and all the way down the river from both directions. So there was plenty of people out having a good time, and everybody there was super, super friendly. Now, after the event was over, things did calm down through the week. Apparently, the locals like it whenever those type of events are over and all the tourists are gone, so they can kind of have the city to themselves. So, Ronnie and I and Steve were out hiking, and you can see us here. Just like I said, absolutely gorgeous, and with all the green and everything, the terrain wasn't too bad. This was my very first hike, and at least at this elevation, and I wasn't prepared for the thin air. Everybody talks about it, but until you experience it, you really don't know what you're getting yourself into. So the air was thin, but in addition to that, the bloating that I felt, I was like, "Holy crap, where did this stomach come from?" I swear I typically don't have digestive problems. Food doesn't bother me. I've kind of got an iron stomach, but I have never had bloating like that before. So here Ronnie wants to take the camera from me and let me walk along. So there I am. Yes. Look, my walking sticks don't fall.
Trekking poles.
I'm sorry, walking sticks.
Trekking poles.
How am I supposed to sound like a newbie if I say trekking poles? If I say walking
You're
sticks,
not a
they're gonna
newbie
they're
after
gonna go,
today.
They're gonna go, aw, she's new.
After today.
So yeah, this is just amazing, amazing.
So the trail we're on is called Backbone.
So these trees here, are they recently dead? Are they always there? Do the trees like die and come back, or what do they do?
Who knows?
Okay.
Did you forget also on the trail too is associate Steve. scenery here,
Holy crap.
right?
Whew.
Pretty amazing.
And how far up do you think we are elevation-wise? Or
What are
he
we
knows.
now at, about 8,000?
7,500.
Okay. Say hello.
Hi.
Okay, now show me on the map.
You want to see where we are? Okay,
Yep.
so we're here. We hiked up all the way up this area to here. We're going to hike back down here. And where you're staying is right here in our downtown area.
There you go. So that's how close it is. And we came in through the S Mountain right there. Show her that right there.
Here's S Mountain right here.
There you
which
go.
Faces F Street.
So there we go.
So
There.
lots of trails for
All right.
hiking and biking.
And I have two of the best guides ever. Look at these guys. They're fabulous. Hey. Hi, Steve. So after we got done hiking for a bit and being down by the river, we just kind of walked down the street. It is a beautiful little place, a lot of quaint little homes. They don't seem to look exactly alike, but they all seem to have a flow to where they just kind of fit. In fact, I was talking to Steve and Ronnie, and even the new homes, which you probably couldn't tell which ones are new and which ones have been there for 100 years, um, you don't really notice that they're different because even the new homes that they demolish the old homes because they're just too expensive to go in and rehab or that just doesn't offer them what they're wanting. They build the new homes in a way that they look as if they could be just as old as the other ones. And I really like how they kept the continuity of the community for the aesthetics of that. I did look up Salida on the Wikipedia, and it really didn't have a whole lot to say. I was kind of surprised. I figured there would be more information out there on it. But it does say that the post office has been in operation since 1881. Now, what Ronnie and Steve told me was that this used to be an old mining town, and there's railroad tracks that run through it. The railroad tracks are not operational anymore, but the town had grown up around the mine, so everybody that lived there was either a miner or the family of a miner. But eventually, the mining dried up, and the people that needed to move away for work left the city. And then, as it got smaller and smaller and smaller, there was just not a whole lot going on. And then, apparently, eventually, the railroad tracks just stopped coming through there altogether. But over the time period, they have decided that they wanted to keep the city going. So eventually, they started pulling in people from tourists, doing the event there that I said was 75 years in the making. And just kind of bringing in people that like to hike and that kind of thing from Denver and surrounding areas. And so a lot of people do come here just for the weekend, or they come in and rent a place for the week, possibly even a month. But then after that, they go back to wherever they're going to be going from. The Wi-Fi is not the greatest here. We were able to work while we were here. All three of us were working from their house while I was in town. But the Wi-Fi really, really pinged like all over the place. Sometimes the speed was really good. Other times it was like almost dial-up speed, and then it would just kind of crash for 15, 20 minutes, and then it would come back on. So whatever the case may be on that, it did make working a little bit more challenging, but we were able to get things done. I was definitely glad that I was here during a time that my business was a little bit slower, so I didn't have quite the same time demands to get out as much in the same amount of time as what I normally do. So that way, whenever the Wi-Fi was a little bit slower, upload speeds were a little bit worse. I was able to take that time and not be stressed about it. So that was good. You see up here, you do have the big S mountain. I'm sure you can see it there in the distance. That's what she was saying that was there. It lights up at night, and there's actually a big heart that I've seen that lit up, and it was just really pretty. This part of the street here that you're looking at, apparently through the summertime, is completely blocked off. You don't have any traffic. They just turn it into an open area for people to come out, vendors to be out, people walking around, so they're not crowded on the sidewalks, which the sidewalks had a decent amount of space. Had a pizza over here to the right. That was some really good pizza. We didn't eat out much while we were there, but we did get out once and had some pizza. So It's just a nice, quaint little thing here with the streets. It kind of reminds me of a much chiller version of Austin and 6th Street, the way they shut down the roads. But this is apparently for the entire summertime or the most touristy time. And I guess then they bring up the barricades and drive around like normal through the winter. So everybody here was super nice. I did notice it's a very pet friendly place. There were plenty of dogs everywhere, people out with all kinds of big dogs, little dogs, just a little bit of everything. Even one morning, whenever I was sitting outside drinking my coffee, as I was watching just the people driving by and everything, a lady walked by with her cats. So she was carrying one cat, and the other cat was just following behind her. Neither one of these cats were on any kind of leash. Not that that's really common to see a cat on a leash, but I thought, well, maybe they got out or whatever, and she was having to go get them and bring them back. So I asked her, I said, "Are you actually walking your cats or did they escape on you?" She said, "No, we walk every morning." So I got to say that was the first time I've ever seen anybody just out walking their cats on a regular basis. So kudos that we're getting those kitties out to get their exercise. And but yeah, looking at all the shops here, there's just a little bit of everything. There was really nothing that we had to drive anywhere for. We got there, I stayed a week, and in that time period, we did not leave in the car, not once. We didn't get back into the car to leave until they had to take me to the airport. As far as my stuff went, now Steve did have to take Ronnie down to the airport the day before, I think, or 2 days before I left. But even then, if he wouldn't had to take her, there was really no need to get in the car. Everything we wanted was right here, walking distance. We did yoga, we did our shopping. Everything that we wanted was just right down these little streets, and it was very, very nice. Now, for them to do their big shopping, Walmart, Sam's, Costco, any kind of major doctor's appointments, those kind of things, they do have to drive a pretty good ways to get to a more major city for those. Now, I love the little murals down here on the little barricades. I tried to get a few shots of those, but there's somebody there with their puppy. And right over to the right, there's this beautiful park area that a lot of people were really enjoying. It has an overlook to the river on the right-hand side. And then as I'm walking down to the river on the left-hand side was where that event was being held earlier that I had filmed. But the days were beautiful. The people were friendly. I mean, there was really just nothing wrong about this entire trip. I enjoyed every bit of it. I don't know that Salida is someplace where I'd want to live myself, but to go down, stay for an extended period of time, yeah, I could definitely go back. No. No, no, your mommy and daddy said no. I know you heard me opening the door because I went outside for a minute, and then you come running down the stairs. But you, no, I'm sorry. No, your mommy and daddy said no. Sorry. I know. Nothing. I know. There's nothing I can do, baby. I know you want to go outside. I know. You tell them all about it when you get home, okay? You tell them all about it when they get home. Okay. But you're a cute little baby. On the last day there, we decided to get in one more good hike before we left to go to the airport. And these were some amazing shots that I got of it. The town is very small, but it offers a lot. And it's definitely a place that I could recommend. And I hope that more people get to see it. So that's a brief little summary of my time in Salida. I know this video wasn't very fancy. It's the first time I've tried to do one based on a location that I visited. So I hope you enjoyed it if you made it to the end. And thanks so much and have a great day.